Welcome back to the vlog. Let's talk marathon training. Lots of people have been asking me about marathon training, so I feel it's time for an update. I've had quite a bit of rest, so I hadn't been on a run since last Thursday because my knees have been really hurting me, and I didn't want to make them any worse. So today is the first day I've woken up and I felt kind of okay and ready to go. So I went out for a run tonight. I was supposed to do a 30-minute run today, 30-minute Jeff, and then on Friday I'm supposed to do a 35-minute Jeff, then a 40-minute walk on Saturday, and then Sunday is long run day, so should be a 4 mile Jeff. And my splits now are 60-second run, 90-second walk. So I did it tonight. I felt okay. I felt quite tired towards the end, but I did it. I finished it. Pace was similar to how it has always been. I don't seem to be getting really any faster, but I can do it. But obviously that is just 2 miles. So I need to kind of either work out what I'm doing here or find another route. I don't really know. Someone reached out and offered me some MRI scans or something on my knees. I don't know whether, firstly, I think I need to buy some compression socks. My legs are just, as soon as I run, after I run, they like fill up with fluid basically, and they get really thick, and they don't really hurt, but it's just freaking me out a bit. And obviously I've kind of got some anxieties around my health anyway. Like I say, nothing really hurts. It's just, they like go very solid. And after I did that 100-kilometer walk, what is it, probably 4 years ago now, basically my legs went completely purple and I couldn't walk for about 7 weeks afterwards. Bearing in mind I hadn't done any training whatsoever, so it's totally my own fault. So theoretically, going into the marathon, my legs should be stronger than they were before that walk. But I'm a bit concerned about the inflammation. I don't know where to buy some knee braces or knee supports. I don't know whether that will help, or whether like, if I put them on too early and they don't really do any good, well, I've got nowhere to go. But I might look into a bit of that tomorrow to see to see what I should be doing. But I'm kind of feeling a little bit. I'm not down. I'm just feeling a little bit. For the first time, I'm feeling a bit concerned about how far it actually is. I know I'll do it, but I want to run as much of it as possible. I don't want to be walking loads of it. I want to run as much of it as possible. I don't want to be last. I don't think I'll be last, but I don't really want to be last in London Marathon. That would be awful. So I need to have a bit of a think about what I'm doing. Mrs. May's absolutely smashing it. She's done a long run into Aylesbury today. I think she's going to do way better than I think she's a bit concerned as well, but I think she's going to do amazing. I honestly think she's going to. I think she's going to surprise herself with how quickly she does it. And good on her. And Charlie as well. Charlie's absolutely smashing the training. He's doing the Prague Marathon the week after, so I think he's going to do really well as well. So it'll be exciting to see what times they post. So yeah, that's kind of marathon training. What else we talk about? So yesterday I talked about our worst financial day ever. As it turns out, it wasn't our worst financial day. So weirdly, the first Tuesday in February last year was our worst day ever. And the second worst day ever was this year's first Tuesday in February. Bizarre. I don't know why. Can't put a finger on it. Can anyone work out why this first Tuesday in February is a bad day? But today's been a really good day. It's been a really good financial day. Lunch was really busy. Dinner's been busy. The dartboards are being used. It was happy hour, which was nice and busy. So then we move on to tomorrow, which is our steak night, which is always fully booked, which is great. So that should be a good night. Friday is always a good night in the pub. Then Saturdays, we've got really good bookings. And Sunday, we're pretty much always fully booked for roast dinner. So kind of, I remember this time last year at the pub, and this was panic time. I remember this time last year, I was panicking. I didn't know what to do. We had no bookings. No one was coming in. And I was just like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And then Valentine's Day came around. we had loads of ideas for like what we can do, what we can do. We kind of brainstormed it, thought of loads of ideas before we could put them into place. Valentine's Day came along, which was a fantastic night. We sold it out. It was a set menu. It was a really good financial day. And then we didn't really look back until September. We were just like pretty much busy all the way through March, April, May. And then, the weather got better. People like, it's a great dog walking pub. It's always really popular with walkers. So if the weather's good, it's always busy in the garden. And so the kind of panic was over. So fingers crossed, that's where we're at. But yeah, it was quite interesting that the two worst days were not the same date, but like the same time of the year. Because January was pretty good. But I was looking at our sales figures for last February, because obviously we're going to want to try and beat this year. We want to try and do more in February than we did last February, and I was quite surprised how much we took last February. Sales are definitely down. It's interesting. Sunday figures are down just across the board. We're not selling as many sides. We're not selling as many starters or desserts. I don't know why. I don't know what that is. Literally, there doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to it. But like the figures are kind of down every Sunday. It's less this year. Well, towards the back end of last year, it was less. So, but last year is like really is our first full year of data and figures. So this year is the year we can kind of compare to what we did last year, and then we can actually start seeing like some trends and kind of what's going on, I suppose, which will be really interesting to see. But I think in this game you've kind of got to spend a bit you got to speculate to accumulate. You got to do things to get people into the pub, and if that costs money, then you just got to go for it, and you got to do everything you can to. Mate, you can't just sit still and hope people will turn up. That's kind of what I've learned the most. I think we can't stand still. We've got to do things, and this is like really obvious, isn't it? But the problem is it costs money, and that's like that's the sticking block for a lot of people in hospitality at the moment. Is do we want to do that, or should we just wait and hope people come? And I feel for the whole industry as a whole at the moment, because that's really tough. But we've made the decision that we're going to go for it. We've like I say, we're booking music every Saturday for pretty much the whole of this. Well, from March till the end of September, every Saturday, and we're committed to a brand new menu, like a different way of serving stuff. I've had a really good idea today. I have a think about darts, which is hopefully going to get the place busier on Mondays and Tuesdays. So I'll talk a bit more about that tomorrow, because I just need to kind of sharpen the old pencil and think of a few ideas about exactly what I've done. I think I've got a good idea, but I just need to, fill in the dots, fill in the gaps of kind of where my idea's at. But so that's quite exciting. But yeah, that's kind of sorry about that. Storage problems again. So yeah, so that's kind of where we're at with the pub. But I would happy to talk about that as much as I can. And obviously the podcast comes out every week, which does a lot more of a deep dive into what's going on at the Pub Diary podcast. So I'll say goodbye. Thank you very much for watching. Take care. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for commenting. And I'll see you all tomorrow.